If your genetics are doing everything they can to make your body hold on to excess body fat, despite eating well and exercising, then this presentation could very well change your life. However, it won't be online forever, so make sure you watch the entire presentation right now. You're about to learn how people all over the world are overcoming their genetics and achieving their dream bodies by going against conventional wisdom. You're going to learn why it's not your fault, and you'll discover exactly how your genetics are trying to keep you fat, as well as learning a few unusual tips and tricks for losing 10, 20, or even 50 pounds of pure body fat. And it works no matter if you're a guy or a girl, old or young, and especially if you've tried and failed to lose weight in the past, because no other fat loss system has been specifically designed with you in mind. No other systems exist purely for endomorphs. And what is an endomorph? In the 1940s, a scientist by the name of Dr. William Sheldon came up with the concept of somatotypes. He categorized people into 3 different groups. Firstly, there's the ectomorph. This is the person who struggles to gain weight. Maybe you know an ectomorph. They'd be the person who manages to stay slim no matter what they eat. Next up, we have the mesomorphs. These people have no trouble gaining muscle or losing fat. And because you're watching this, chances are you don't fit into either of those categories. There's a very good chance you're an endomorph. And the way I define it, an endomorph is basically someone whose genetics make it harder than average to lose fat. Now, while endomorphs typically have a hard time getting into great shape, there's no reason you can't have the body you've always dreamed about. You will, however, need to forget conventional wisdom and take a different approach to weight loss. An approach specifically designed with endomorphs in mind. And what you need to consider are the 4 genetic variables that separate endomorphs from the general population. It's these variables that make conventional weight loss methods ineffective for endomorphs. Genetic variable number 1, fat cell quantity. We're all born with different numbers of fat cells, and endomorphs typically end up at the higher end of the spectrum. Genetic variable number 2, muscle fiber type and quantity. Not all muscle fibers are the same. Some people have more endurance type fibers, while endomorphs typically have more strength type fibers. And you can actually harness this to your advantage, but more on that in just a minute. Genetic variable number 3, gut length. Your guts are responsible for absorbing nutrition, and endomorphs typically have longer guts than average. Now, this isn't a bad thing, it just means you need to do things a little differently. Genetic variable number 4, insulin sensitivity. Endomorphs typically have lower insulin sensitivity, meaning you'll pack on fat easier than most people, unless you use some simple tricks to keep your insulin under control. So, because of those variables, normal weight loss systems that work fine for regular people just don't cut it for endomorphs. And here are the 3 main reasons why. Reason number 1, long cardio sucks. Long cardio works great for most people, and if endomorphs could run on a treadmill for an hour straight, it would work fine for them too. But because endomorphs are better at strength activities than endurance ones, it just doesn't work. So what you need to do instead is focus on weight training. 3 intense workouts per week, lasting 30 minutes each, is all the exercise you need to do. You'll speed up your metabolism, turning your body into a fat burning machine and ensuring you don't lose any precious muscle. Reason number 2, low insulin sensitivity. While most people can lose weight just by reducing their carb intake, as an endomorph, you'll have to cut all grains from your diet. Some of the worst fat-gaining foods for an endomorph include breads, pasta, cereals, and rice. And yes, I'm including whole meal varieties here as well. So instead of eating lots of grains, try eating things our ancestors ate instead. If you want to ramp up your fat loss, you should be eating lots of fresh meats, fruits, vegetables, and eggs. Reason number 3, not sustainable. Getting into the best shape of your life long term requires a lifestyle change. But you can't change your lifestyle if you're hungry all the time, if you're spending half your life in the gym and the other half in the kitchen. In order to make a lifestyle change, the system needs to be easy to implement and easy to maintain in the long run. And that's exactly what Endomorph FatLoss is all about. It's the only program available that was specifically designed for people who genuinely have a hard time losing fat. And here's how some people have gone with it. Andrew Bates from the USA said, "My wife thinks I'm a total stud in bed, and my friends have suddenly started calling me big guy. And oh yeah, I can fit into clothes I haven't worn in years. And mind you, I eat what I want. Plenty of steak and tuna and chicken. What's not to love about that? So how is it that at 220 pounds, I felt like crap and my back hurt, whereas now at 225, I have a six-pack and feel 10 years younger?" And Manny Olmo claims it actually saved his life. To make a long story short, I went from a starting weight of 310 pounds, suffering from diabetes, diagnosed with NASH, inflamed gallbladder, and yellow jaundice because of liver damage caused by NASH. As of this writing, 3 months later, I am now 245 pounds, a blood sugar of between 68 and 78. The NASH has completely disappeared along with the jaundice, and my liver biopsy shows no more damage and repairing quite nicely. All with no drugs, just plain old exercise, clean diet, and vitamin supplements. I can't thank you enough for you and your newsletter. You saved me from certain death. Thank you again for all you've done for me. Yours in health, Manny Olmo. And if you actually follow the directions in Endomorph FatLoss, you will lose weight like never before too. There's yet to be an endomorph for whom this system doesn't work. And here are just a few of the things you'll learn in Endomorph FatLoss. On page 29, you'll learn why some health foods are actually making you fat, and most people are completely shocked by the list of foods here. On page 21, you'll discover a 5-step process that guarantees that you're motivated enough to stick to your new lifestyle. On page 29, you'll learn a trick that completely destroys any junk food cravings you might have and makes you actually want to eat healthy foods. Page 47 begins an entire section on how to keep your metabolism burning hot all day, as well as increasing your insulin sensitivity. And this means you store less of your food as fat. Page 66 reveals a handful of exercises that burn more fat and keep your metabolism burning hot. Most people you see at the gym never perform these. And page 71 even lays out exactly which delicious meals to eat to increase your fat burning while keeping yourself full all day. And they're just a handful of the things that you are going to help you burn fat and get the body you've always dreamed of. And here's the best part. Endomorph FatLoss is 100% downloadable, meaning you can start applying the program right away. And here is exactly what you'll get. It all starts with the main Endomorph FatLoss book. It's just over 100 pages of solid, fluff-free information that spells out exactly how to use the Endomorph FatLoss principles to burn fat like never before. You'll also gain exclusive access to a customers-only e-zine where you'll be sent more tips and tricks as time goes on. And of course, you get lifetime updates for free. Anytime something is added to the package, you'll be emailed a download link for immediate access. So, how much does Endomorph FatLoss cost? Well, before you see the price, why don't you think about how much it won't cost you? It won't cost you expensive personal trainer fees. A good trainer will charge upwards of $100 an hour, and they still might not understand your needs as an endomorph. You won't need to spend hundreds of dollars a month on supplements. Endomorph FatLoss does without most supplements, and the ones that are optional are dirt cheap. You don't need to pay a surgeon thousands of dollars to suck your fat right out of you. Although this actually works, it's dangerous, and if you don't understand the endomorph principles, you'll end up putting the fat back on anyway. But you certainly don't need to spend that much today. You shouldn't need to sell a kidney in order to get access to information that can change your life. And even though marketing gurus have suggested that Endomorph FatLoss be sold at $197, you're not going to pay that much today. You're not even going to need to pay $100 or even $50. In fact, you can grab a copy of Endomorph FatLoss for just $37. Would you pay $37 to be able to look in the mirror and be proud of the body you see? But what if it doesn't work for you? Well, in that case, it's 100% free. If Endomorph FatLoss doesn't have you well on your way to the best shape of your life within 60 days, you'll get your money back, no questions asked. Now, it's impossible to know how you'll be looking in 60 days' time. Maybe you've only got a bit of work to do, maybe you've got a lot, but you are guaranteed that you'll feel like a new person. You'll have tons more energy, less junk food cravings. Your pants probably won't fit you anymore, and you'll be well on your way to a body that you've only ever dreamt about. Try and picture your ideal body. What does it look like? How does it feel to look like that? All you have to do to make that fantasy a reality is click the Add to Cart button right now and get started. Remember, it's 100% risk-free, so either you get the body you've always wanted or you get your money back. So click the button now and start burning fat.